eBay came out with the new Promoted Listing Advanced beta. It is different than promoted listings, and if you're wondering what exactly it is, if you should be doing it, and then if you decide to do it, how to tell if it's actually working, this video is for you. So in the fall and the summer, eBay comes out with a seller update. Oftentimes there's item specifics and new categories. They work out some kinks or maybe add new features, and sometimes they add completely new programs like this Promoted Listing Advanced beta. So we're going to be looking today at what exactly it is, if it's something that you should be using, and this is going to differ for everybody. So I'm going to show you how to tell if it's something that you should be using, how to look in your eBay and figure out if it's something that you should be using, and then look at how do you know if it's actually working if you decide to use it. So let's get into it. This is directly from eBay. I will link it down below. But essentially what this Promoted Listing Advance is you're paying for top visibility. You do that a little bit with promoted listings. What differs for this, and if you guys aren't familiar with promoted listings, the program that they already have, I will link a video in the cards for that so you guys can see what exactly that is. This is different because promoted listings, you only pay if the item sells. In Promoted Listings Advanced, you are paying per click. So you choose a keyword that you think people are searching a lot or that you want to rank for, and you pay every time that that item gets clicked and your item shows. This can add up very quickly, and it's not necessarily resulting in sales. You are paying regardless of if it brings you sales or not. And that may work and that may not. And we'll get into that in a minute, how to decide if that's going to work for you or something that you should be doing. It's giving you more visibility. You can set a budget, which is nice. So you can have this pay per click and say, I only want to spend $10 a month on this keyword. Now to decide if this is something that you should do. This is going to differ for everybody. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do or tell you what you should do. I'm going to show you how to look in your eBay and decide if it's something that you should do. Now, keep in mind, this is a beta, and so it is only available right now if you are a above standard or top rated seller. So keep that in mind as you go through this. You do have to have a store, but I'm going to show you and meet these metrics for them. I'm going to show you in your eBay store how to tell if this is something that you should do. All right, so based off of that, there's going to be two reasons that you may consider doing Promoted Listing Advance. One is going to be if you have highly searchable terms. And I'm going to show you guys in a minute how to decide if this is for you. But if you have highly searchable terms, or if you do something like replenishables, where you have one item and you sell 300 of them and it's only one term, it may be the biggest bang for your buck. It may be worth it. The other reason that you may have to start doing this is if your competition's doing it. If everyone in your niche and your competition starts doing this, it is going to start suppressing your listings. And doing it may not increase your sales, but not doing it may decrease your sales, if that makes sense. But not doing it may decrease your sales, if that makes sense. And we will get into all the metrics and how you guys are going to be able to tell this. Let's start looking at it right now. So as mentioned in this screenshot of eBay, you have to be an above standard or top rated seller to do this. So you will have to have a store in order to do this. So if you come into your store, we are on sell, and then you go to performance and traffic. If you guys want to know what all these metrics mean, I will link a video up in the cards because I have videos that go over the metrics on the traffic tab. For the purpose of today's video, we are going to be scrolling down. I just want to quickly note that we're looking at the current time period. You can change these, and I'm going to mention in a minute how you're going to want to. If you come down here and you look at impressions by placement, top 20 search slot impressions. This is telling you what percent of these impressions. So remember, an impression is any time that someone comes across one of your listings. Like I said, in the traffic tab, I really break down exactly what all of these terms mean and what you can do to increase them. Not going into that today, but the top 20 search slot impressions. of your impressions, what percent is coming from top 20 slots? Are you ranking in the top 20 slots? You can see for me, 0.7% of my impressions are coming from top 20 search. I sell mainly women's clothing, shoes, and purses. That's not extremely surprising to me. It is extremely saturated, and it also is highly competitive. And a lot of women don't. You can come over here and see non-search impressions. 84% of my impressions are coming from non-search impressions. So this means if someone is just scrolling through eBay, or someone is looking at a listing and then on the bottom it says, you may also like this. This does not surprise me that that's how women shop, that they maybe go to eBay and they search something and then they end up on something else, right? But this may be different for you. And then you want to look at the rest of the search slot impressions. So this is anything, are you ranking, are your impressions coming from search past 20 search slots? So any, when you're scrolling down, 21 or past, is that coming from, are you not ranking? So why am I saying this, and why do you need to look at it? If this is a low number for you, there may be two reasons for this. One could be because you need to work on your SEO. I will link a video up here about the eBay listing report, recommended listings report, because eBay will go through and tell you what SEOs you should be using, what item specifics you should be using, and really recommend how to make your listings the best possible. If that report is telling you that your listings aren't the best, improve them and then keep an eye on this number. For me, it's because it's overly saturated. So it may be worth it for me to get a leg up on my competition and try out this promoted listing advance. The second reason is going to be if your competition's doing it. If a lot of your search comes from, or a lot of your impressions come from search, and over time that starts going down, likely your competition is doing it as well. And a way that you can tell is keep an eye on what these are doing. Are these decreasing over time? If these decrease, you are likely having your competition is starting to do this promoted listing advance. May not always be the case, but that is something that you should really consider. If you have a high number here, and then as time goes on, they are decreasing. Now, this was released in the fall update. So one thing that you can do right now, if you're trying to decide, is come over here and change this to a month ago. Not everyone had it in September. People are just starting to use it. So it might not change that much, but definitely moving forward, if you're debating, should I be using this? Keep an eye on these numbers. If these are going down, especially this top 20 search, if you are getting less and less views and impressions that way, your competition may be using this promoted listing advance. And you may have to start doing it too. You may not get sales directly from it, but if you don't do it and you don't keep up with your competition, you will lose sales. So from here, let's say you decide, hey, this is a really high number. It is down from last month. I've been keeping an eye on it and I want to kind of try this out. I would first say do a test scenario, because remember, a sample test. Remember, you are paying per click. If items do not sell, this can add up quickly and you can be in the red, you can be in the negative if this doesn't work. So go through your listings, find a keyword that you want to rank. Maybe it's something that is really high price. So if you take a little bit of money out of your profits, it's not going to show as much. Or maybe you sell replenishables, and let's say you sell Levi's jeans and you have 500 of them and you just keep replenishing them. So Levi's or jeans or whatever style may be worth it for you. Decide which way you want to do. I would do a sample and do it for a month. If you don't do it for a month or a decent amount of time, you're not really going to be able to see these metrics change. Once you do it for a month, come back into this table and see what these numbers do. Did this increase? Are you ranking better? Is this eBay Advanced Listings Beta? Did I say it right? It's a mouthful. Is this actually working? If it's working and you're paying per click, you should be ranking better. Keep in mind though, if you are highly competitive and your competitors are doing this number, your 0.7, your top 20 search slot impressions may not be increasing, but as long as they're staying steady. If you were seeing a decrease before, you tried out this new advanced listing promotions, is this staying the same? Are you at least keeping up with your competition? And then one other thing I want to do, if you scroll on down, it shows you the change in your top 20 search slot impressions per listing. So if you went in and said, hey, this Under Armour, I sell a lot of Under Armour, I'm going to do that as one of my keyword clicks. Keep an eye on these. Is it actually working? You should start to see an increase here, or at least keep it the same if you have a lot of competition. If you guys decide to do this, let me know. Keep it down below. If you like this video, YouTube also thinks that you would like this video. I will link other eBay tutorial playlists here, and then make sure to hit that subscribe button.